Keri, next question.
I have a question for Andy. Do you realize that your acting is also changed in other countries when they dub your voice? Have you seen it?
Oh, have I seen it dubbed? Have I seen? Yeah. I mean, fortunately, it wasn't a problem with Caesar in the first movie, but I'm saying no and home. But yes, no. I actually met when I was doing Lord of the Rings, I actually met the guy from Japan who played Gollum and Smeagol, and we both did it for each other, and it was amazing. Actually, I mean, without sounding like I'm racially stereotyping, his Gollum and Smeagol was like, it was fantastic. That's incredible, of course. But the thing is, we've all had our performances dubbed into other languages. That's what happened.
Melissa, let's do next question.
My question is for Matt Reeves. I wanted to talk to you about any if there was any fears or just incredible amount of excitement first taking on this project, because obviously you love the franchise. It sounds like a dream job for you.
It wasn't. The thing is, it was a dream and it was terrifying, because what essentially happened on the project was that there were. I had a great affinity for Rise. I thought it was really moving, and I was like, when they approached me about it, I thought, Wyatt has done such a beautiful job with this film, and it turned out that for a number of reasons that he didn't want to do what they wanted to do. He also didn't think the schedule was enough and all this stuff, which now, having done it, I can tell you he's right, the schedule was not enough. But the idea was, I said, well, what I'd be interested in is carrying forward really what was established in Rise, which is the emotional heart of those apes and how that turns into, look, we all know that it doesn't become Planet of the Humans and the Apes. So it seemed to me that this was a moment where you could actually explore that question, the coexistence between these two populations that were struggling for survival. And the thing that was really important to me was that we carry forward the apes in an emotional way that you could relate to, and that we take the humans and even in a way that was really different from Rise, take those humans and depict them in a way where they weren't villains either. There are no villains in our story. It's all about survival and trying to find a way to sort of master our nature and the impulses within us. And so I went in and I sort of pitched that, and they were like, okay. And I was like, oh, okay, so what's the catch? And they said, the catch is you need to start shooting very soon. So that was the crazy thing about it, was just that I had to jump in and seize the opportunity. But they were giving me the opportunity to make the movie that I thought would be so exciting to be a part of, and to get to dive into this world was something I couldn't resist. So there were a million things I'd never done before. The idea of doing motion capture and the idea of doing effects on this level, and yet the big sort of relief of it all was that at its center it was exactly the same as making any movie, except after you've done that, then you have to do a number of really strange things, like shoot the scene again, which Keri can tell you without the actors or Gary tell you. Suddenly it's like, hey, we just did something great. Yeah, now you guys got to go back in there and do it again, and this time they won't be there. And all of those things were added complexities that were challenging, but that was part of the thrill of it. It was really like just jumping out of an airplane and saying, I'm doing this. I'm just going to do this. And I got to tell you, I would never jump out of an airplane, but I was happy to jump into this.
Because you said it will lead up to that big Planet thing. So I read that you have agreed to work on or develop for the next one. How would you expand it further and build upon Planet of the Apes?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that I think that there's a particular luxury with getting involved with the story, which is we already know the ending. So the story immediately isn't about the what happens. It's about the how it happens. And I had a screenwriting instructor who I loved many years ago who talked to me about stories, and he said, there are the kind of the stories that are about the what, and then there are the stories that are about the why. If you already know what happened, then it becomes about the why, and the why is about psychology and about character, and that is what I find interesting. So to me, the idea was, and it was actually the thing why I was saying, when I got involved, they had actually jumped farther down the line, closer to Planet of the Apes than I ever wanted to, and I thought I was not going to do this movie. I thought, oh, that's what you guys want to do, because I think you should start earlier, because there's a long and interesting path that's all about the lives of these people and how they're affected in this situation, and the idea would be that the next phase of this story would be how those lives continue in this struggle. It's an ongoing struggle, the way that our lives are every day.
Okay, Jeffrey, next
Sadly,
question.
we all know the ending as well.
For Gary, the colony you lead in this movie, is this like the last vestige of the human civilization as sort of humanity at the top of the food chain as these damn dirty apes are taking over with their paws and stuff?
Well, initially we don't know that there are apes there because this community has survived the flu, the epidemic, which has sort of wiped out a huge part of the world. We believe that the military have done their job, and I mean, basically, that they've wiped out the apes. So we are this. I mean, the thing is, we have food, we have water, but the currency in the movie, I guess, if, for want of a better word, is electricity. That's the currency, and we need that to communicate to the outside world, to actually find out if there is anyone out there, or how many are out there, who is out there. So we believe, you know, for all intents and purposes, we could be the only. I'm sorry, I'm incredibly distracted by the cab ride. So we could be the only survivors, and then of course we discover, you know, cut to a community of apes who believe we're all doing their thing with their family and think we've all been wiped out, and you know, and then of course, you know, we discover each other.
They got a problem.
And then and the drama is, I mean, that's the, you know, can the apes and can the humans coexist?
And for me, the idea was that it's really a story of two families. There's a human family and there's an ape family, and that's what the colony is. That's the human family. And the difference is that the apes, they're on the ascendancy. They're still, you know, the idea is we start in this ape world and we're following their development. It's like, oh my God, in ways it almost sort of mirrors our own sort of tribal development. And you see as language is coming into being and all of this stuff. And you're seeing all of the bonds that have been formed and the next generation that's come in and the civilization they're building, they're really on the way up. But the humans, the colony, they have just had the most massive sort of tragedy happen to them. And they are a family that's trying to heal itself. And so these two families have to find some way to survive, and the stakes are all about the things that they care about. And also, there's the question for the humans deeply about what it is that they've lost. The idea in this story for the humans is what it took even to still be here, and what was lost along the way, and what's worth fighting for at this point. And all of those questions, I think, are very emotional questions. It's one of the reasons why I was so excited to have these guys in that story, because of the emotional sort of depth of that was really important to me, so that this would not feel like we had sort of like straw man humans that you sometimes see in these movies where it's like going, oh, let's see the apes destroy the humans, I can't wait. That's not what the story is about. And so that's really the struggle, is the struggle about what are these two families going to do to avoid killing each other.
Okay, we're essentially out of time. One last question here.
Oh, wow, no pressure. How did filming in such a culturally rich place like New Orleans impact the production?
I mean, I think we had an amazing time shooting. I love New Orleans. I'm really a great time. So it's an extraordinary city to film in. And so above and beyond the, you know, the difficulties of shooting at 100% humidity, you know, which you know, nobody wants to stand next to you.
And I love the smell of stale beer and vomit.
The Bourbon Street particularly. That combined with us in our mocap suits.
I'm wearing flannel suits and like 100
You didn't want to be anywhere near us.
Yeah.
But it was,
interesting smell.
Yeah. But my God, you know, what a great city. I'd go back there in a heartbeat. I mean, the music scene was phenomenal. It was a jazz fanatic. Bike rides. Really,
Food was amazing, yeah. Nice people. Yeah.
Go back in a heartbeat.
Thank you.
Thank you.